Good morning, everybody, from a very gloomy, overcast, drizzly day. The rain's already started, which is ahead of schedule. The cats came in meowing for their food at 7 in the morning, and they were wet, and I wasn't expecting it to rain overnight. Larry is chilling inside on the couch. Mikey has gone off on more adventures, and I'm hoping to power on with a bit of work. I'd really love to get the scaffolding out of the way, partly because I want to see the house in all its glory. I finished the top of the window, which you might have seen in my last video, and I want to get that out of the way and see what it looks like. And also because it's going to rain really hard tomorrow and also overnight tonight, and for the rest of the week actually, and I don't want the rain pitter-pattering on the metal of the scaffolding. That's going to be extremely annoying. But I have a little bit of grinding to do up there before I can move it, plus possibly a bit of pointing depending on the weather. And that's basically my first goal for the day. So I'm going to finish my coffee and then get the grinder out, get the pointing stuff out, and see what I can get done. It's gloomy, it's horrible, it's drizzly, and I'm hiding inside still. My intention was to get outside on the scaffolding and start working just above here, but because that's where the roof line is, I'll get soaked. So instead, first I'm going to pull this cardboard out and see what that looks like. The cardboard worked as planned. Stuff stayed up. Yeah. I love it when a plan works, especially when it's kind of just cobbled together. That looks good. And I think I'll just grind off these little nubs here, which are in the way of the wooden window box. And then I'll assemble the box together, which I've got the pieces here, staple something on the front, and stick it all in place to keep the rain out. So I'll need to do a bit of grinding, and that means I'll need to get the gear on, which I hate, and part of hating the gear is hating the mask. This mask sucks. My glasses fog up, but fortunately I've been sent a new style of dust mask by the folks at Base Camp, so I'm gonna give this a try. It comes with a very fancy looking mask, actually. That's pretty cool. And filters. So it looks like it's got a filter in there already. It's got a pack of filters. They last up to 60 hours or 30 days, depending on the use, which is great. The mask is made of breathable fabric. It feels really nice and soft, and it's got one-way valves, adjustable nose clip, and they tell me that it means that it won't fog up my glasses, and that's the main advantage that I can think of, besides just feeling way nicer than these horrible things. These things absolutely suck. Be gone. So I'm very hopeful that this is gonna do what it says. Ooh, one thing that's very useful for hat wearers is the fact that this wraps on with Velcro, because getting the bottom strap over the hat is always extremely annoying. So it's off to a good start already. Let's see here. Okay. Dun, dun. Which way does this go? That way. That way. It's not very complicated. You think I'd be able to figure this out? All right. This is not going well so far. Okay. So, the Velcro goes this way. Feels very nice on the back of my neck, and then this one just goes over the top. Okay. Adjustable straps for the back. Feels really nice and snug. Definitely feels a lot more dust preventy than those other ones. The nose clip is there. I can breathe. And now the test. There's no fog. This is absolutely amazing. I am very excited. So the grinding is underway. I've got this fancy new mask, but of course, while I was doing the grinding, I forgot to put the ear things on, so they've just been sitting on top of my head doing nothing. But I'm really happy with this mask. It's definitely an improvement over that other crappy one that I keep using, and I'm excited to have it. So thanks Basecamp for this improvement. I will be buying more gloves very soon, which is completely unrelated to masks, but they're just too ridiculous not to comment on. So I think I have a little bit more grinding and a bit of chipping with the hammer and chisel to get these little corner bits out. Then I'll put the wooden box in, and then I'll have protection from the elements if I can find some piece of tarp or plastic to use. So I'm gonna just keep going with work, and hopefully in the meantime, while I'm working in here, it stops raining out here so I can get up on the scaffolding and do some work outside. Who knows what this day holds, but I'll see you fairly soon. So here's what I've come up with. It's pretty hideous. It's a black sheet of plastic that has some holes in it, so I don't know exactly how this is going to work, but it's better than nothing, and I'm just trying to see myself through a rainy night, and I'll figure something out tomorrow. I've squared things up, but I am going to actually take all this apart because I need to stain it, but I can't do that. I can't move forward on the window box work until I go to town, and that's going to happen in a couple days. So this is my solution for now. I'll get the lintel back up there temporarily, and I have an exciting development outside where the scaffolding is down. So let's close the door so we can see the nice blue door and walk away from the house and see what it looks like. But before I head to the driveway to look at this thing from a distance, you'll notice above that I've done some pointing and also over beside the window. So I did the parts that I needed the scaffolding for, and I still have to do the paintbrush and wacky brush stuff, but I'll just hop up on the green chair scaffolding when the time comes, much to the chagrin of many out there, but it's just for a little bit of work, so it's not so bad. So I've got some stuff to do tonight as this hardens. But right now, let's walk past very beautiful Tracy Trumpet Flower, who is absolutely thriving at the moment. Let's walk past the less than beautiful cluttered polytunnel that I'm going to deal with very soon. Let's take a look at these exploded pomegranates. I kind of dropped the ball on this. I never really know when they're ready to be eaten, and right now they look like something out of an alien horror movie. But it's all about the house. So I think this is looking pretty cool. Obviously the black tarp thing there and the ladder, not so much. But things are coming along, and I'm just really over the moon with how this window is looking. I didn't think I'd get anything done because it was drizzly for most of the day, but I had a little window where the rain stopped, and now it actually looks like the sun is out, which is good news for my solar system because I need a little bit more juice in there to see if I can get through these next few rainy days ahead. So it's been a really lovely day of work. I just put some music on, got things done. I have no idea if this black plastic solution is gonna keep the rain out tonight. It's gonna come down pretty hard, I think. But I'll report back tomorrow. So right now I'm gonna go back inside, do some computer work, and just chill out for the rest of the day. So things are coming along really nicely, but there's still loads more to do. And I'll see you again tomorrow for some more work, maybe in the land, maybe in the window, or maybe it'll be too rainy to do anything. Who knows, but I'll see you very soon. It's a new day and the sun is trying to poke through, which is great news because my solar system is desperate for some energy. It rained torrentially last night. It was really, really bad, and water did come in the window, which I was expecting, but what I wasn't expecting was that water was dripping onto this log, or this lintel, and actually dripping through here. So that means I've got some kind of a leak above the lintel inside the wall, so somewhere in here. So I'll need to go outside and investigate that because that is not expected. I expected this to leak because it's a pretty dodgy job, let's be honest, but I wasn't expecting that. And another thing to investigate is whether water got in my fire. Sometimes water will come in the flue pipe when it rains really hard, So let's see what this looks like. Wow, I actually have a fire prepared in here from last year. I didn't realize I did that. It's nothing like being prepared. And it's definitely dry in there. So that's very good news. It means I have only one issue to deal with, and I'll do that tomorrow. So that's very good news. It means I only have one issue to deal with. Well, I guess two. I've got to fix that leak above the lintel, which means climbing up there to investigate. And I also need to fasten in the window box and do a better system for this. But I need to go to town to get some stuff. So I'm gonna, I think, take the day off, possibly clean the polytunnel. We'll see. And I'll see you guys again tomorrow for some more window work. So the sun is shining, but the rain is still sprinkling down. The polytunnel is still filthy. Look away! But I got the stuff that I need to carry on with the job, including some wood stain, some spray foam, some silicone stuff. And I need to take the pieces out of the window, prepare them, sand them, get them stained, reassemble everything, and hopefully I can do all of that today while the sun shines. But it's about 1 in the afternoon. I've been imprisoned in the house all morning. There's a tropical storm, Kirk I think it is, blowing through Europe, and that passed overnight and this morning, and now it looks like it's clearing finally, but it's been, yeah, it's just been a couple of days of hiding inside and not really doing much. Went to town yesterday. Sinead got a car. We got to eat sushi, so all was not lost, but now it's all about the work, and I really need to get this window box in because it's gonna rain a lot more from here on out. So let's just get into the work and see what I can get done. The weather is so weird. It's sunny and beautiful out, sort of, with a little bit of sprinkly rain in the air, so I don't know what's happening exactly. All I do know is I've got a lot of sanding to do before I can get staining, and I really want to get all this done today. So less talky, more worky. So this is pretty frustrating. The rain is kind of going sideways, even though it's just a little sprinkle. It's getting on the wood. Sanding wet wood is impossible, so I'm gonna evacuate for the moment, take the operation back inside, and hopefully I can get a little window of dryness to get this done, because I have a hole in my wall once again. Ah. The weather is still crazy windy, but it is dry, so I'm back at it. I've done some speed sanding, and now it's time to bust out the router. And the amount that I'm going to be taking off the wood is so minuscule that it's probably pointless, especially since I'm in a hurry. But I guess it's just the person that I am, and I do think it'll allow the water to shed off the wood a little better. Who knows, but I feel like I want a router. I like getting some practice with this machine. I'm not really that familiar with it, and it's kind of fun to use. So let's put a little curvy edge on these pieces of wood, and then I'll sand it up a bit more, and then I'll stain it and stick it together. So it looks like I missed a bit. This still isn't my finest skill, but it is an example of how continuing to practice hopefully eventually makes perfect, or at least some improvements anyway. Got it. Okay, we're all sanded out, we're all routed up, and Sinead is here. She has some experience with the old wood stain. Any advice for me?
Well, first, if you had alcohol, I would clean the wood with alcohol.
I do not have.
Rub it down. There's a bit of dust on it. So you want it nice and clean. It feels very smooth. My preference is a cloth. I do like a clean cloth, but I see what you've given me is not so clean.
It's the only cloth.
Maybe I'm just a bit particular, but I do like a clean cloth. I prefer cloth than brush, because I think the brush just, to me, I think it just goes on a bit streaky.
Okay.
And so with the cloth you can kind of manage it a bit more, because you can buff it in and then go back and do a second or a third coat.
All right.
That would be my recommendation.
I have my little test block here. I'll give it a go. I've never really put on wood stain
Yeah, you want to get that
successfully
sawdust
before.
off though, yeah? You want to get that nice.
Okay, that's the first tip to
Yeah.
go with.
Yeah.
Okay, get off
so-
sawdust first.
Get off sawdust, make it nice and clean, and then...
And then try it with a cloth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Not a bother.
All right, good luck with your project.
Yes.
Putting a roof over your toilet box, possibly.
I like to think that it's a roof, but I have the awful fear it might be a kite.
Time will tell.
Yeah.
Time will tell.
Exactly.
Well, put a string on it and you can go
Either
fetch
the
it
wall
later.
will be dry or the wall will be gone.
Ah, exciting times. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Okay, clean the wood off and then stain it with the cloth that I'm using to clean the wood. Let's see how this goes. Luckily I have a little test block. Okay, so I've got a new cloth, one of my mom's lovely knitted dish towels, and I'll use this for cleaning off the sawdust, and then I'll use that other cloth for actually applying the stain. Or at least I'll try it, I'll try that, and I'll try the brush and see what I like better. I am really hopeful that I like this color because it's the only one I bought, so I can't really do a sample and then switch over to something else if I don't like this. So fingers crossed it's good. And I've decided to go pretty dark. I'm gonna do the window, the same color as the window box, obviously, and I'd also like to do the pergola that I eventually build in front of the house, the same color as the window. So sort of have more of a dark wood theme on the outside, and then on the inside it's going to be more of like a linseed oil kind of lighter wood. So let's give this block a try and see what this looks like. And I really, really hope I like it. I should probably be wearing gloves for this, but you've seen my gloves and they're the only ones I really like, so let's just get in there with the hands. I can always wash them later. All right. Oops. Already screwed it up. Okay, putting it on with the cloth seems reasonable. I like the color. I'm not sure how I feel about the zebra-likeness of it. And then, yeah, that goes on quite streaky. So I think I will take Sinead's sage advice and get this on with a cloth. And I think with a couple more coats it'll go a little darker and I'll be quite happy with this color. I'll start with the back and then move to the parts that you'll actually see. Most of this window box won't really be seen. It'll be covered by the frame or by the stone, and on the inside of the house it'll be covered actually completely because I'm going to make the cell sort of angle in with the render and cover the window box, but you'll see the window frame instead. Okay, I've got 3 pieces stained. I'm not massively crazy about the streakiness of it, but like I said, most of it will be hidden, and it's not done to the most amazing standard. I don't think my cloth selection is great. I also feel like I probably should have been wearing gloves. That's probably a rookie mistake and very obvious, but this is quite tricky to get off. So I'm not sure if this is the new color of my hands or what, but you know what? At least it's gonna match my window. So I think the dark stain is a good choice. Once I get that done, the window in and the pergola up, it'll match the gas bottle box and the trellis thing that my dad made, and I think it'll look really nice all together and just be a nice contrast to the wood inside the house as well, as I mentioned. Yeah, so it's not massively enjoyable. It's pretty sticky stuff. Again, putting it on with that cloth, not ideal. So I've learned that staining wood isn't one of my favorite jobs, but you know what? You can't love it all. You can't love it all. One thing I do love is how many limes I have, and I'm gonna make a lime pickle very soon. It's gonna involve fermenting them for a whole month. I have a sunflower down. The garden needs some serious attention. I'm gonna close off some beds. Sinead's gonna get the winter garden going. And we have some very exciting developments in her little winter garden polytunnel nursery. So let's go see what the babies are doing. And we have some more life. This is very exciting indeed. So, looks like everything is showing signs of life. We've got loads of onions on the way, lots of lettuce, coriander, and a bazillion, give or take, Brussels sprouts. Looks like the cauliflowers are popping up. And the beets don't seem to be doing as well. There's one there. But lots of excitement, lots of exciting things on the way. So I figured that since I'm down here scoping out the winter garden, we'd pop down to Sinead's as well and see how her toilet roof slash kite is going. We'll take the shortcut across somebody else's land. It really is a beautiful day, and you can see my neighbor's trees have lots of olives happening, and it looks like I've got some happening over there. Some trees are pretty packed. That tree is actually looking really good, and they've turned purple, which seems kind of ahead of schedule. So I don't know if the weird rains we had that ruined everyone's grapes are also gonna wreak havoc with the olives. Maybe it'll make the season a little earlier. Maybe everything will be the same. But I definitely don't have as many olives as I have had in the past. But you can still see that I have plenty. So with Sinead's land added into the mix, and Sancha as well, who has a few trees, we should be getting plenty of olive oil, along with my friends that I usually pick with on a yearly basis as well. So the bar has been retired for the moment into the polytunnel, and the outdoor bathroom shower area has been exposed to the elements, but Sinead has come up with her possible kite, possible sail, possible roof, and it looks pretty good to me. I love these little stones she's got here. So that's the shower, no need for covering. And then in here we've got, wow, pretty cool rope work. I love it. So we've got double protection, we've got a tarp, and we've got a roof, and I feel like that's gonna stay put. I feel like it's gonna be just fine. It's got some nice juicy olives on this tree, and a new car, which is very exciting. And even more exciting is inside the yurt, Sinead's
Hello.
chilling out after her day of work, doing some research.
Roofing takes it out of me, guys.
Yeah, one must relax. So what are you researching, Sinead?
I'm giving myself a solar system, and I have 10 quotes.
That is a very smart thing to do. It's a lot wiser than my one quote that I got.
Yeah. So I'm doing a little evaluation at the moment.
Okay.
Comparing it against going on grid, which is very expensive. And I'm going to make a decision tonight.
I'm very excited for you.
Tonight is the night when I decide what system I'm getting. And power will be here.
Amazing. Amazing.
At some point.
At some point.
Along with my fire. I will install that at some point too.
There's a lot happening in here. The changing of the seasons. The new vehicle. It's like you're here now. You've got the things you need.
This is my home.
Got the yurts.
Yeah.
Mel's Glory.
Yeah.
And yes. So happy researching.
Yeah, great.
I
Yeah.
shall see you later on. I'm going to go back to work.
Yeah, cool, cool, cool.
Farewell.
Toodaloo.
Toodaloo. And I have one more piece to make for the window box. Okay, stained pieces moved out of the way, and now I need to prepare this final piece. This is the bottom piece, and I want to do something where I cut in and create a little bit of an angle so that if water gets on this, it'll shed off rather than moving in towards the window frame. So I'll do some marking and some cutting and some chiseling, and then some sanding. So just a couple more to do, and I'm not entirely certain that this is going to work or whether it'll actually even be worth the effort. I feel like having an angle on the front of this bottom piece is going to allow water to shed away from the frame. So it seems to make sense in my head, and it's actually weirdly enjoyable, and I'm going to have a lot of fun chiseling this out as well. It's a brand new day, the sun is shining. I had to call it quits yesterday because I went to run an errand and it took longer than expected, and by the time I got back it was dark and it was raining, so I had to move everything inside and call it quits for the night. But now I'm back at it and I've got a bunch of chiseling in my future. I've got to sharpen first, and then we're gonna take off this little edge and hopefully finish this box and get it in place today. So, this little ridge thing has been quite a bit of work, but I think it'll be worth it. And it's taken a long time, and for that reason, and for reasons that will become clear in the next video, I've run out of time, and I've got to cut this short. So I was really hoping to get this window box in today in this video, but unfortunately, it's Thursday, and I've got friends coming for lunch, and I've run out of time, and I have to get a video out. So I'm gonna say goodbye from this one. It's been pretty full. This has all taken a very, very long time, as with most things, but the progress is good, and I'll have that window box in the next video if it's the last thing I do. So I'm gonna say bye from this one. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video.